Good evening, everyone. My name is Luis Perez-Beatty. I'm Chair of the Historic Districts Commission in Concord. Welcome to the June 1st, 2023 meeting of the Town of Concord Historic Districts Commission. The Commission will review 2 continuances and 1 new application this evening. I will make an announcement at the beginning of the meeting, and we will also conduct some additional business at the end of the meeting. We're conducting this meeting online in accordance with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Executive Order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law. The public may access this call through both telephone and video conferencing. Members of the public will have an opportunity to ask questions and provide public comment on applications and discussions following the petitioner's presentation and questions from the Commission. To do so, please raise your hand in the participant function of the Zoom meeting platform. If you are calling in and cannot use the platform, you may raise your hand by dialing *9. Our host will mute microphones of those not speaking, and in order to preserve bandwidth, and it may need to turn off video, with the exception of the commissioners, the host, and the current applicant. I will call on each commissioner for comments on an application and then open the meeting for public comment. Once there are no more public comments, I will ask for a motion from the Commission to continue, to approve with conditions, or to reject. A second, and conduct a roll call vote. Once the Commission has acted on an application, the applicant is free to leave the meeting. We will do a roll call of the members of the Commission now. Kate Schartner.
Here.
Walter Clay. Is Walter here? He's here, but he's muted.
I was doing so well. Here.
Okay. Dennis Fiore. He's not here. Bill Hewitt. He's not here either. Catherine Mast. You are there and you are muted. Melinda Shumway.
Here.
Paul Ware. He's not here. And Tim Whitney.
Here.
Very good. So we're going to proceed to the first public hearing, which is Stephen and Heather Fredette, 86 Barrett's Mill Road, Barrett Farms Historic District, to replace existing gutters, siding, shutters, and trim on the south and partial east elevations and repaint to match the existing colors. And also to well, that's all. That's what I see. Is the applicant here?
Hello, I'm Jeff Capello. I'm the permit applicant. I filed the permit for Steve and Heather Fredette.
Very good. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Can you tell us what is the plan? What are you planning to do?
The plan is, the application is to replace the front facade clapboard, running trim, and shutters to match the existing dimensions as they are right now, and to add an inside corner of half-round gutters that does not currently exist. It's about 32 feet of gutter, and that's the big picture overview. The trim and the clapboard would be cedar material. It would no PVC or anything. It's all wood. And same thing with the gutters. The gutters are wood gutter. Excuse me. The gutters are copper. The shutters are wood. That orange, the orange drawing right there is the new location of what would be half round gutter and downspout.
Okay. Do we have any more pictures, or is there any other material we must see?
That's the section of the classic shutter to match the existing shutters.
So if I am correct, what you're saying is that most of what you're doing is replacing the things that are already there.
Yeah, what's there is pretty broken. In spots, it's fully broken down and evaporated. And what's there now is following suit. It needs to, it was painted many times over the years. At one point or another, it looks like it wasn't primed or wasn't primed properly. And there's the existing clapboard now is not gonna hold paint or its structure for much longer. So that's why we're proposing replacing it.
Okay. And are any of these shutters that you're planning to replace original to the house, or have they been replaced before?
I think it's a mix. It would appear that the ones on the bay are original, just in the construction method. They appear that way. I can't guarantee that they are, but it would appear by the construction method that they are. But they're all, I could push my finger through them. The only thing holding them together right now is paint. So there's no version of salvaging them. They're in pretty bad disrepair.
Yeah. So basically, this may be fairly old shutters and parts, but they are in such way that you believe that they are not. It's not possible to replace them.
It's not possible to repair them. I mean, the older ones held up better than the newer ones. I would say the newer ones are just, those melted away. But both sets, the old and the new, are at a point where they're not salvageable.
Okay. And the other part that you are adding, it's gutters. Is that correct?
Yeah, that inside corner where we want to add the gutters is taking on water in the basement. The basement's a web of pumps, and it's we're hoping if we can just take the water about 1.5 feet off the foundation, it's going to stop pouring right down onto the foundation. There's not much of an eve line there.
Okay. Well, the reason I'm raising these issues is because we like to keep old wood when we can.
Sure.
It doesn't look like it's possible to do this here. If you are replacing anything kind, you don't really need any. You don't have to make an application to the HCC. On the other hand, if you are putting new gutters, then that's a new item. So formally, we have to review it. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be very important to determine that what you're going to replace in terms of shutters and things of that sort is exactly the same as it looks like now. Is that the case?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think that I'm going to ask members of the commission for comments. So I will start with Timothy.
Jeff, is you're replacing the gutter? You're replacing gutters on that inside corner and downspouts. That's a replacement job. Is that correct?
No, that we're adding the gutters there. The gutters are not currently there. Where I highlighted in orange, there's an image that if we can go to it, you'll see.
I remember that. And what about the rest of the house? Is that what other gutters exist on the rest of the house?
They have white K-style everywhere, but this is we thought it appropriate to put the half rounds on this facade because you can't get the K-style. It's a slanted fascia which doesn't accommodate a K-style. So really the only option is to hang a dog down to a half round copper gutter. You could do painted, but I thought the copper was appropriate.
So the rest aluminum K gutter basically? Yep. So you're really installing a higher quality gutter and downspout.
Yeah, certainly.
I mean, I don't have any comments. I would think eventually the whole house would want to be copper gutters, ideally. I'm being presumptuous here, but but no, I'll pass to the next member. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tim. I will interject something that I did not mention before that I should have had, which is that the voting members of the commission will be all 5 members that are present right now. So, Melinda, you have any comments? You're muted. You're muted.
I know. Sorry. No, I have no comments. I think it's fine.
Thank you so very much. Catherine?
Yes, I agree. It sounds like these are all necessary fixes to maintain the house, and So I have no further comments.
Very good. Walter?
On gutters, I understand copper being higher quality, and I love copper gutters. They do become more obvious on the face of the house when you're looking at them than the white aluminum would be. If that's a consideration, that's the only thing that pops into my feeble gutter understanding brain here about this. I think as long as everybody's happy having the copper stand out more, at least until it weathers out. And when it does, it'll still be a different color than the white. It is an addition to the mass of the front of the house in a way that the aluminum wouldn't be. But I have no problem going ahead with it.
Thanks very much, Walter. Kate?
I just want to clarify that, so an entire wall of siding is going to be replaced? Is that correct? It's
Yeah,
not gonna be patched?
no, in the images, I indicated with words what's being replaced. And
Right.
it is the entire facade and around the corner all the way. So there you go. Right there. It's that facade. It's to the left of that image. That's another, if we keep scrolling, that would also show that area. And then if we keep scrolling a little more, it'll show you this section around the corner. That section also, the balance of the house has already been done. It's this section that is it's in pretty bad disrepair. And the reason we tried to save it, I tried to find a way to just, the trim's actually the worst part. The trim in the windowsills has evaporated. So we tried to find a way to just do the trim, but the clapboards are in enough disrepair that they're not, once we pull the trim, they're going to break down. And it just, we tried every which way to save it. And it just, it's just not, it's not salvageable.
So the balance of the house has already been done. Do you know
Yeah.
when that was done?
I don't, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Well, because I know you were saying that the shutters, you can stick your finger through them, and
Yeah.
is the clapboard sort of in similar condition, would you say?
In sections, the clapboards are missing. In spots, you're looking at sheathing, that the sheathing's actually, rotted too. So there, the sections you can stick your finger through the clapboards, and there's a small area where there's actually no clapboards. They've actually already,
Just
they've already evaporated.
too bad.
So they're not at the point where we could, plane them down or put a good primer on them. They're gone. It was a bad paint job at some point that kind of doomed it.
Okay, because I know this is 1850. I live in an 1850 house, so I
Yep.
just had to kind of just give a last hurrah for the 1850 siding, but
Yeah.
gone, it's gone.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
No further questions.
Thanks very much, Kate. I don't have any comments. I'll echo what Ms. Chartner said, but I don't have any comments. Are there any public comments? Well, in the absence of public comments, I will ask the commission for a vote, and I have to make yet another change, which is that the commissioners that are voting are going to be the 4 full members that are present and Timothy Whitney. So I'm going to start from the top with Kate Chartner. I'm going to ask for a motion. Sorry.
Right. So, okay, well, since you have me, I move to accept the application of 286 Barrett's Mill Road as submitted.
Second.
Second,
Okay, now we have a motion and a second, and I'll start backwards. And Tim Whitney,
Aye.
Melinda,
Aye.
Catherine Mast,
aye.
Kate Chartner,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. So thank you very much. Congratulations, and hopefully you will be able to save some of that 1850 wood.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well,
Bye-bye.
thank you.
Thank you.
The next application is the continued public hearing, which is Pat Nelson, 1300 Main Street, the Church Street Historic District, to install a shed, and the applicant has requested a continuance without discussion to the meeting of June 15th. So I will ask the commission for a motion to continue the application of 1300 Main Street.
I move to continue the application for 1300 Main Street without prejudice to the meeting of June 15th.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Tim,
Aye.
Melinda,
Aye.
Catherine,
Aye.
Kate,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. So the next continued public hearing is the First Parish Unitarian Church, 26 Lexington Road, the American Valley Historic District, to construct an accessible entry addition to the right tavern, a pocket park, and other associated landscape changes. And the applicant has also requested a continuance without discussion to the meeting of June 15th. So I will ask the commission for a motion again.
Well, I'm going for a motion hat trick here. I move to continue the application of what is the address?
1300 Main.
1300 Main
Oh.
Street.
Oh, that's the one I just did. Are we doing the next one?
No.
Yeah.
No, you are continuing the application of 2 to 6 Lexington Road.
I'm continuing that one now, 2 to 6.
Yeah,
Lexington.
that's the one that you are continuing.
Yeah, that's right. We just continued 1300. Okay. I move to continue the application of 2 to 6 Lexington Road without prejudice until the following meeting on June 15th.
Seconds?
Second.
Linda, okay, let's go. Kate,
Aye.
Walter.
I'm not voting, am I?
Oh, that's right. You are not voting. This is hopeless. Catherine,
Aye.
Melinda,
Aye.
Timothy,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. So we have some additional business conducted, which are the minutes from 3:21 and 4:6. Does anyone have any objection to those minutes?
No.
Yeah, not an objection. There's one in reading through on the meetings for the minutes for the 21st. There is a mention of a log driveway, which is, I'm sure, is a typo, but it should be a long driveway. That's the only thing.
Good catch.
It might be perplexing to somebody 30 or 40
Right.
years from now.
Why are
Okay.
we doing log driveways?
Who knew?
Well, today we may be doing log driveways because I think that there's a collective sense of something here. And right, Anne, is it possible to approve the minutes pending the correction of what seems to be a typo?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
As amended.
Any problems with the one from 4:6? I
Not
don't
that
see
I
any
can see.
problems, but I don't see the typo either, so I'm not reliable. Well, if there are no objections, I will ask for a motion to approve the minutes from 3:21 and 4:6. And this time the whole commission votes
As amended.
as amended. Somebody has to make a
I'll make a motion. I move to approve the minutes of 3:21 and 4:6 as amended.
Is second.
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 Kate,
Aye.
Walter,
Aye.
Catherine,
Aye.
Melinda,
Aye.
Timothy,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. So we have finished doing everything in 20 minutes and 22 seconds.
Wow.
It's
New
it's a record. It's a new record. It's a new record. So I just want to add something. If anybody has any questions or any announcements or any issue that they want to bring up, this is the time because we have so much time. If that's not the case, then I will let you know that we continue working on amending the guidelines, and for the Historic Districts Commission, we want to be able to appoint we want to appoint members for 5-year terms instead of the 5 years determined by the nominating entity. And we want to be able to change the affiliation of commissioners when they are named. They usually go from associate to full member. These are memos that have been going around. I will let you know that I had a very constructive meeting with the Concord Museum, where they understood the issues that we were facing, and they basically endorsed the proposition. So we also had a long meeting with the public library, and they were kind enough to have a lot of input, and especially to engage some former HDC commissioners, which are attorneys. So they had a great deal of advice in terms of implementing these changes. We also had a meeting with the Natural Resources Commission, which also went very well. We had a meeting with the Planning Board, which raised a number of issues, especially in regards to whether the motions or the propositions that we have are consistent with the enabling legislation, specifically Section 4 of the Concord, the Massachusetts law, which establishes the Historic Districts Commission in Concord. And we also had conversations with our own attorney, which is Paul, which unfortunately is not here today. But he reviewed all the changes, and you know, the consensus that we have is that all these changes are entirely compatible with the Section 4. So the next step that we are going to do is to actually talk to Town Council, to Mina McCarris, to have an official assessment on whether the rules and regulations we're planning to, or the guidelines for administrations, the articles that we're trying to introduce, are consistent and compatible with the enabling legislation. And then we will go to the select board to obtain their endorsement as well. The important thing is that from what I have read, which I'm becoming now very familiar with the enabling legislation, this will be an internal vote from the Historic Districts Commission, and will not be a vote of limited to the full members, because it's not an application. This is something that I will discuss with the attorney. It's something that's decided by majority votes by all members of the commission. So all members of the commission will, I expect that they will be voting. And therefore, I will send all the necessary materials for people to vote with full knowledge of what are we are voting for, and what are the things that we want to change. So that's the update. Any questions? Walter's just about to say something, but he didn't.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Well, if there are no other issues to discuss, then I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I motion that we adjourn.
Woohoo!
Seconds.
Second that.
I want a voice vote to adjourn. Raise your hands.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye. Overwhelming majority. Well, thank you very much. Good to see
Thanks,
you.
guys.
A preview of the record is that after the summer ends, we're gonna go back to in-person meetings.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I have to tell you. All right.
All right, thanks. Thanks, Luis.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks to
everyone.
all.
Bye.
And have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.